It is yet another late winner from your favorite club, Liverpool FC. We just finished watching the game against Atletico Madrid, and yet again, there was a late winner after the 90th minute. And we keep doing this over and over again. And I think opposition fans can keep on saying that Liverpool are getting lucky. What we are going to concentrate on is winning. We'll keep on winning, and they can keep saying that Liverpool keeps getting lucky and it will keep winning. So that is that. I have a lot to say about the game. I can keep going on and on and on about things that I liked about the game, things that I didn't like, stuff that I think we can improve on if we really want to kick on and win this Champions League. Because I think we are a bit far away from the standards and the levels that we need to be able to win it. It's early days yet, so I wouldn't go so much into that. I'll resist any temptation of praising or criticizing the team. What I want to say about this win and about our season so far is that the fact that we've been getting these late wins says quite a lot about the fitness of the team, number one. Number two, the mentality that the boys are playing with. And these things come from coaching. It comes from the training processes. So the boys are fit, first and foremost. They can last or play 120 minutes. And aside that, they have the mentality to remain calm. And I think the mentality thing, the strong mentality thing, comes from the experience of winning or getting over the line. So they remain calm even when it's not going well. They still remain calm. In the 5 games that we've played so far until today against Atletico Madrid, I've never seen once where Liverpool have tried to hoof the ball long up the field to try and get into the opponent's half. It is always short passes on the floor, keep moving the ball, putting crosses in from dangerous positions, not just any crosses from anywhere at all. So I think that speaks to the calmness of the boys, even when we are drawing games, even when we haven't been behind in any game so far. So it's usually when we are drawing games and we are getting to the latter stages of the game and we need a goal. I also think that the team knows how to get a goal. They just know stuff that they need to do in order to get into dangerous positions. And if anyone says that this late winners comes out of luck, I think then the person has to re-examine the way they see football, because there is such thing as wearing down the opponent. There is such thing as bombarding the opponent until they break. So I think in most of these games that we've won in the latter stages, we've bombarded the opponent. We've tried to probe so hard that mistakes become inevitable from the opponent, and that is how come these goals arise. So that is something that has to do with the mentality and the fact that the boys are so fit, they can keep going in for 90 minutes. They can keep repeating the patterns that seems to work for them when they want to create goals. They keep repeating those patterns, be patient, and keep going over and over and over again. So I think because at times it is very easy for teams to try to rush the play when it's getting to the latter stages and they need a goal. And in some cases, you might end up even conceding from trying to score. So far, I think this is what I've seen. And I give a lot of credit to the manager, because I think Arne Slot is one coach who takes the fitness of players very seriously. He doesn't really try to gamble on the fitness of players, because he knows that the season is long and he needs to win games over a 9-month period. And so because of that, I think in most cases, when players are even fit enough to play 90 minutes, he ends up giving them maybe 45 minutes. If you are fit enough to play maybe 120 minutes, that is when you'll be giving a 90-minute game. So I'm sure all these players, they have the capacity to play more than 90 minutes. And that is why we see them still um, going, still pressing to get the goal, even when we are at the latter stages. And sometimes opponents just can't keep up with that. So I think that is something that needs to be highlighted. It hasn't been said a lot so far. All the conversations has been, it is not sustainable to keep going like this. But I would also make the argument on the flip side of that, it is not sustainable to keep going like this, and say that it is not sustainable for opponents to keep Liverpool from winning the game until the 90th minute. So at some point in this season, at the same reason why we say it is not sustainable for Liverpool to be winning games in the 90th minute, it wouldn't be sustainable for opponents to try and keep us away from winning the games before the 90th minute. Surely there's going to be a point where we are going to be winning the games because opponents will break earlier than they have been so far. So let's look at both sides of the equation. It is true. I accept the fact that this is not going to be sustainable. At some point, it will come back to bite us. But at the same time, it is not sustainable for any team, for all the teams that we are going to face, to prevent us from scoring until after 83rd or 82nd minute. So I think that is something that we also need to take into account. But aside that, kudos to the manager and the players for their mentality and for maintaining high level of fitness to keep getting these last minute goals.